Yes, hello and welcome to the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast, the only podcast that's happy to be awake at 5 a.m. on a Monday. We have a massive week 12. It's hard to believe that we're actually at week 12. Danny boy, it's the season is flying.
Yeah, the season's absolutely flying. Great choice of words as well. As you can see, I'm wearing my Kelly Green because the Eagles are playing in Kelly Green while playing in Dallas. They're playing away. First time they've ever done it since bringing it back in 2023, and we're still undefeated in Kelly Green. What a way to rub it in. And also, why are Dallas letting us play in Kelly Green? Like, surely they have some form of a say. Why put us in a uniform we're undefeated in?
They're not that smart.
That is very true.
It's Jerry Jones making these decisions. Fucking let them. They can wear whatever they want. We'll still beat them. No, you won't.
So you are. We're absolutely flying into week 12.
Yeah, huge. Charles, what colour are you wearing this week?
I'm wearing Orchard Park blue. I don't know. It's and this we discussed it before. It's actually vintage. Like it's the shittiness is because I've worn it out. And it's good to feel good about the Bills again after last week. So we're recording this right before the Bills play in Houston, where Josh Allen had his worst game of the year last year. I think it was 9 from 30 in the passing game and a loss. So hoping to go back and really take on the Titan that is Davis Mills today.
Dougie,
So
we love
there
Dougie
go.
Mills. I'm actually a fan of Dougie Mills, but yeah, you should trample him before. We will say we're obviously all picking the Bills, surely.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that.
No, like we said, the game will be well and truly underway by the time this comes out. But it's getting to that point of the season, Charles, where some teams are starting to look postseason and after on the negative side of things. So I've got a question for both of you boys. It's about some of the injured quarterbacks and whether so you've got to put on a Bengals hat and a Commanders hat.
Who day? Okay, I'm there. I'm right. Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
What's the Commanders?
Commanders got nothing because they got no.
Raise Hall? It's something like that.
Didn't they have a mascot that was like Captain Tuddy or like General Tuddy or?
Did you know the Redskins, mate?
No. This was like when they became the Commanders. He was like. He became General Tuddy because he was a commander. Anyway, like I said, they got no culture.
It went well, obviously.
Yeah, it went very well. Like I said, who day?
So you can run with, you can be our Bengals man and you can be our Commanders man. I want you to, they're at the point now there, so Bengals 3-7, Commanders 3-8. Are you bringing back your star quarterbacks from pretty serious injuries? Turf toe sounds real childish, not childish, real bad. And that dislocated elbow that we saw was
gross.
Horrendous.
He ain't coming back.
Are you going to bring him back?
So as the general manager and coach of the Bengals, okay, I wouldn't bring Joe Burrow back because if there is one problem with Joe Burrow, it's his durability. And if you are 3-7, you realistically... What are they? A 1% chance of making the playoff? Is that? It's like the exact percentage.
Less than 1%.
So things would have to go freakishly well from here. And I'll tell you, the final, like you could actually make an argument going, do you know what? We want to have a culture here that we're going to try and win no matter what, and we want to build that, and we need to develop the newer players on this team. So we're going to get Burrow back in there, so we've got something to build on for next year. I would do that with even that 1% chance of winning. I do not respect that 1% chance because Jamar Chase is suspended for spitting.
Yeah.
So you have arguably the best wide receiver in the league and the Burrow-Chase combination. We all know how good it is. If they are going to make the playoffs, that's the only way they're going to do it. It's not on defense. And Chase is out this week. So they probably don't win this week. And you know, Burrow's coming back, he'll knocking the rust off. Well, there you go. It becomes 0%. So what's the point? So stop your quarterback from being the next Andrew Luck, which is the big worry for the Bengals. You found a franchise quarterback. You paid him. Everyone loves him, one of the best in the league. But if he gets another serious injury, he is accident prone, at which point you just know statistically it doesn't play out well. It doesn't get better.
Prone, not even accident prone.
So I couldn't agree with you more, but then the Bengals doing Bengals things, he has been a full practice participant yesterday and today. So it's like all pushing forward as if he's going to play against the Patriots, which is wild. Like, I could be cool to see Joey B back out there. Like, it's everyone, like you said, everyone does love him, and it'll be good to see him play. But wild coming from the Bengals organization to get him out there.
How much regret do they have? You know, I can't think of the second one, but the Jets, where they were that far up and lost. Like, they were going to be. They go from 3-7 to 5-5 and one game out of the playoffs. Like, to lose those games,
it's a massive turnaround. But that was always going to be the challenge of their season. Can they just get enough that when Joe Burrow gets back, they can do something? And it's tantalisingly close, but you wouldn't think they make it.
The Ravens are doing that where they're obviously, and they're in there now.
Absolutely.
The Bengals have not.
What I will say before we go to the Ravens is if I was wearing my Bengals GM hat, but I secretly was working for the Buffalo Bills, yes, I want Joe Burrow playing because I really would love the Bengals to beat the Patriots and just make that top of the AFC East interesting.
I just don't think the Bengals defense are going to have enough to stop this firing offense that the Patriots have developed and like everything that Drake May is doing out there. I really think he's going to throw the ball and pick them apart.
Yeah, and so it has to be a shootout for the Bengals to have any chance.
So you need Joey B.
And you've got Joey B and the number one.
Well, fans, this might be before your time, guys, but I don't know if you ever heard of the Fine Cotton racing scandal where some guys painted a horse. So they got a horse that was a really good horse and they painted it to look like a really shit horse. And then they put it in the race to clean up on the odds and they got found out, the Fine Cotton scandal. So what I'm saying is, Jamar Chase, suit up in a different outfit. Don't take your helmet off for the whole day. And it's like, oh my God, he's throwing to this this guy who walked in off the street this week.
Some real Chad Powers stuff.
Yeah. Chad Powers. Yeah, Chase Powers for the Bengals.
Now, I put to you, Danny, that the Commanders are in a slightly different position where Joey B's, he's a veteran now. You know what you're going to get with him. Even if he does have the entire year off in the end, because it was week 2, he'll come back next year, whether he's healthy or not. But we know what he's going to be. Daniels, second year.
Yep.
Reps are still good.
Reps are so important, and they're on a bye this week, so you've got another week up your sleeve. That's why they're at that 3-8 mark, because they hadn't had their bye yet. So, get through this bye week and then reassess where he is. I think for such a young player, it will be good for him just to have NFL reps. Go out there and have game time reps. I think it's really important. And then as the GM, you'd look to that, and then maybe if you lose, keep him out for an extra week or two, reassess where your schedule's at, and then if you lose when you put him back in, all right, sit him for the last game. But I think getting out there and having a little bit more time with this Commanders team, it is, I think, really vital for a young QB.
I was going to say no, because I don't feel like there's anything realistic about the Commanders, and it's been an abomination of a season even before his elbow decided to
give way.
Just
stop.
Have a trial separation, divorced from the rest of his arm. But I actually think it's important for him to go through adversity, because he had that rookie season, that dream rookie season where he far exceeds expectations. He's winning games he shouldn't win. And he was also, if you remember the way he was last year, he would lead game-winning drives to come back and win, and he'd rush to, he would do everything, take chances, and would succeed more often than he would fail. I think it's good for him to have to eat some shit sandwiches to toughen him up for his experience, to know it never comes easy to you in the NFL. And I know, have a look at what happened to his elbow. Of course it doesn't.
Have you seen the elbow?
Yeah, of course it doesn't.
That was a shit sandwich.
But that's right. But so overcome it, come back from it, and improve that way, because there's an opportunity for mental toughness that you don't get when it's all going well. Am I?
So did we convinced him.
He's back.
Yeah, we got him back. So we're going Joey B, relax, Daniels come back and...
Yeah, I still think come back slower than what you think is...
Play with caution. But
play with caution, because your season's
maybe
done.
Don't have him in when you're 43-6 down.
Yeah, that was a poor decision. They should have sat him earlier. And Marcus Mariota's going out there and doing everything that he can, but it's just like you said, the Commanders team's problems were well and truly prevalent before Daniels went down.
Yeah. Another player that is injured, and some interesting storylines that come along I saw during the week that Cam Scatterbo? Yes, Cam Scatterbo, I forgot his name. Injured, obviously, you saw it live. Ankle did not look good.
Oh, it was facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
It did a full 180.
During the week, was part of WWE.
Yes.
Now, I only saw a little bit. It didn't look, from what I saw, he was involved, wasn't walking around or anything like that. I don't know if you saw more than what I did, but how are you, if you're a Giants fan, seeing your injured star of the next couple of years before he gets head trauma and isn't out? But
So yes, as a Giants fan, if you actually watched it, and yes, it's completely scripted. Sorry, WWE fans.
No.
But the wrestler, I'm 90% sure it was Dom Mysterio, but don't at me because I am not a WWE fan, was having a go at him about being like the best thing that has come out of New York, and that New York haven't won a championship, and he was a champion, and all this sort of stuff. So it was like, it was an attack at New York. So Giants fans are probably going to look up to that, and trust me, I've just been in New York. They are passionate. I was not allowed to wear any of my Birds gear anywhere without someone saying something to me. Super passionate. So like all he did was stand up for New York as a sporting city. So, and then, yeah, there's a little bit of push and shoving, but he was behind a barrier. It's scripted. There was some, dummy punches thrown, and then that was it.
did he throw a punch?
They all were swinging. They were all swinging, but like all the Giants.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, he wasn't the only Giants player there, and so there was like, he was supported. There was people around him. I actually couldn't see him in a moon boot. I tried to like have a little zoom in on the video to see if he was actually in a moon boot still, or what his situation was, but it didn't look like it. So I don't think the Giants organization would have let him be a part of it. He would have had to have been cleared by the Giants organization to actually be there and to be involved. Like, that is just not something he can just decide that he wants to do off his own bat, especially while he's injured.
What are just the optics of it?
See, for me, it's the optics aren't good. Like, I'm not concerned about
apparently
him.
it's scripted. I've just
Well, sorry to break your heart. Although Hulk Hogan did defeat Andre the Giant fair and
picked him
square
up.
in
He picked
WrestleMania
him
3. Picked him up. I mean, Hulkamania. But like there's not concern about him getting injured. That's not realistic. Although, got to say, the WWE's concussion protocols are shit house compared to the NFL. But I think it's an optics thing of just appearing like your mind's not on it, right? And I know you've injured you've hurt your ankle, you're out for the season, but you're still a part of that team, and it's like there is still a season going on, and there is just something about the message it sends about I'm off elsewhere, and I think having lived in New York and seen how their press operates there, they're going to get mileage out of shit like that. Like the New York Post is going to make fun of it, are going to make a bigger deal about it than it is. The sports radio in New York it's not quite Philadelphia, but it's pretty vicious, and what that is it's a distraction from the football. So you just have to know you're in a market where if you go on WWE, you're gonna see photos of you on the front page of the paper for it, and that's a distraction from the team. They don't need that.
Yeah. When I saw it, the first thing, it just left a sour taste in my mouth to be like, there's better to get healthy and then be involved in it.
Yeah, you can do it in the off season.
Whatever. Like,
you could have that.
I would much rather see him at a Knicks game than the WWE. Like, get around New York, but in an appropriate way. I don't know. Like, it is what it is.
I mean, participating in a Knicks game would be a stretch. That would be great.
Maybe he punches a Knicks player. Who knows?
Hey, the Knicks are doing well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
The Knicks are doing great.
See him sitting next to Timothy Chalamet instead of, who'd you say? Dom Mysterio. Anyway.
Is Dom Mysterio the son of Rey Mysterio Jr.?
Yeah.
Who's obviously the son of Rey Mysterio?
Son of Rey Mysterio Sr.
Yes.
I really don't want to confirm or deny that.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think it's his uncle. I think Rey Mysterio is his uncle.
Oh, where's Eddie Guerrero fit in this then? Wasn't he an uncle?
That was Rey's uncle.
That was Rey's uncle.
I used to love
the Mysterio family living up to their name.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And don't tell me it's fake. I watched Mankind fall off a cage and stick his tongue through his. That's real.
See, the thing is, the injuries are real. Yeah. The results are the scripted part. So I remember I interviewed Hulk Hogan once, and it was an amazing experience because I grew up through that era. WrestleMania 3, I watched it live on TV as a kid. It was amazing.
We weren't born on it.
I know.
But anyway, go on.
But so your parents would have watched it right before they conceived you. They really got fired up for that. Hey, who's making jokes about who's old now? Now, but what I was going to say was I met Hulk Hogan. He came into the studio, interviewed him, and he's an imposing figure, but he walked like a puppet made of foam. None of his joints worked anymore.
Crippled old man.
The sole of his shoes was like 6 inches thick of foam, and it's just like he was physically spent, right? And so the injuries are real. It's just the storylines are created and the results are all scripted. And I think there's a very weird fucking movie called Iron Claw, which is about a wrestling family. It's a true story. And
Zac
about
Efron.
Yeah, with Zac Efron and the guy from The Bear, who's the best actor in the world, who plays Springsteen. I can't remember his name. But this is a digression. I don't care. In that, it plays out that there was one wrestler once who didn't do what the story said, and he never wrestled again. Right, and so you don't.
Vince McMahon, that's all I know.
Yeah, don't cross.
That is a ripper, Doco. Oh, God. The McMahon one. That was good.
Anyway, we digress.
By the way, Any Given Sunday will be launching a spin-off WWE podcast by dudes who don't watch WWE.
It's called Hey Brother.
Hey, brother. Hey, uncle.
We got to pour one out for old Hulk Hogan, though. Rest his soul.
Is he dead?
Oh, come on, man.
Is he?
Yeah, he passed away about a month ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Honestly,
By the way,
no idea.
I'm sorry
no
if
idea.
any members of the Hogan family are hearing this for the first time, but yes.
We're digressing way too much. Anyway, speaking of scripted, Shadour Sanders getting his first reps as a starting QB and starting this week. Dylan Gabriel still concussed, I believe. Doesn't matter. Shador's starting, Danny boy.
Yeah, which is absolutely huge. So, he went in for the one drive or two drives in the fourth quarter of the game last week, and everyone was like, he's shit, he only threw 4 from 16 or whatever it was. But people need to understand, being a backup QB is really hard. So, you're sitting on the sideline, you're freezing cold, you haven't played, you don't know that you're actually going to go in. You're sitting in there with a clipboard in your hand, just kind of trying to follow along with the game. And then you get called up to go in and play, and you're also having reps with players that you haven't had reps with, you haven't trained with. When you train leading up to the game, you train with the team that you're playing with, and that for him was the seconds. So this week, I think it's going to be completely different, and it is great that he's going to be in there for this first week because he's going up against the Raiders. So it's the Browns versus the Raiders. No one really was that excited for this game. With Shadour Sanders going in there, having first-team reps, being in the film room with the head coaches and all that sort of stuff, and breaking it all down from the starting QB position, I think he's going to go out there and hopefully play a whole lot better because he did have his arm looked strong in that game, but he just missed a lot of targets.
Yeah, was he 4 from 16 or something? But first reps, and like you said, I think having the first team reps, big deal. People don't understand you being the scout team compared to being first team reps. It's a big deal. So,
Well, even a team with an elite QB, if their regular receiver core isn't there, they are less confident throwing into a contested situation. So, comfortability with receivers isn't just if you're Shadour Sanders, who's coming in as the third string quarterback. It's every quarterback. If you're not familiar and trusting your receivers, you're not going to throw as well and you're not going to be as confident. You mentioned script. I think that's the key here. We at least are going to see one series that is more of a scripted offense that he will have practiced through the week. So we will see what a prepared Shadour Sanders like. Yes, he's trained with the first team. He's done reps with the first team. We're going to see a drive, at least one drive, where they're following a game plan that's built around his skills and what he can do. So that should give us a picture. Who are the biggest winners of this? Whoever the regional affiliate who was carrying the Browns Raiders game that no one was going to watch, all of a sudden people are going to tune in at least to see, what Shadour Sanders can do. And also it is a good, for Shadour Sanders, it's weird. Thank God it's not a Monday Night Football or a Thursday. The pressure that would be on him, that has already been on him and, for too much of his life and messed with his brain. So many things about him through the draft and coming in. He's had to be humbled through all of this. It's kind of good that it's a bit of an off-Broadway shitty fight, and we'll find out if he can cut the mustard, at least in some part and see if he's got it. And, the Browns, they don't deserve it, but wouldn't it be great if he actually turned out to be a quarterback who could start for them? Like, if that was actually
And
possible.
they look like geniuses taking him at, 125?
Yeah, well,
but we've all watched the footage of that room when they picked him, and it was obvious that the owner was on the phone making them do it, and they're all going, all right, do that. Like, no one wanted to do it. It was like eating your vegetables. But, it's personally, I'm rooting for Shadour Sanders. I think it'd be great.
Good for the game.
It's good for the game.
Like,
Is he related to Prime?
God, you today, you're killing me. But like, Shadour Sanders has been watched since the 8th grade, and like had so much pressure on him like his whole childhood, and he still is a child now. Like, you see the way that he's acting, and like, I feel like he deserves his shot, and he should be able to go out there and like, I hope he does pick apart the Raiders, because we spoke about it a little bit off air. The Raiders like secondary is like absolutely nowhere. So you got the defense goes Max Crosby, massive gap, and then everyone else. And like Max Crosby looks so disappointed in his own defense when they were getting out there and they're getting absolutely picked apart. So hopefully Shadour Sanders can kind of have that. And at least on the flip side, they've got Myles Garrett like chasing after Geno, who hasn't really shown up at all so far this season. So like that, at least they're going to have the defensive advantage, I'd say, going into this game as well.
It's really a game of the two most disappointed, money-filled defensive ends of all time.
Myles Garrett signed that contract happily. So let's not forget that.
But Max Crosby as well. Do you remember this in the off-season? The Raiders just gave him some more money. Like, they just restructured his contract to pay him more, as if to say, sorry. Yeah, we're really sorry. And it was like, you're one of what? He'd be possibly in the top 5 players in the whole league. Close. He is an instant Hall of Famer, and he has just been suffering there. And the look of sheer anguish on his face looking at what's going on around him on that defense has been really tough to watch. And I have a feeling that they might just get the checkbook out again in next off-season to just go,
Let's double down.
Surely there are other things they can give you in Las Vegas to cheer you up, from what I've heard.
What have you heard?
Just a big stack of chips and a well-connected limo driver, I think, does the trick.
Shadour Sanders has done exactly what we've just talked about it for 5 minutes, which this game was definitely not on our radar to talk about. So
it will be the most watched game of the week. Like, I'll put money on it.
I'm putting money on this one. I've put this as game of the week.
Well, this Sunday night football.
It is Sunday night football. It is a huge game. Game of the week.
By the way, I'm not like checking my socials. I'm looking up. I want to look up the injury report for this game. I just want to check one thing. So I'm doing a little bit of research.
Talk about this.
Yes,
a little bit of last minute research. I've called it the game of the round. Just purely Bucks at Rams. Rams a touchdown.
6.5 point favorite.
6.5 point favorite.
And
people are jumping. 65% of the bets are on that. That is a big sway.
Yeah, well, I guess because the
That's
Rams...
such a big margin.
The Rams playing in SoFi does make a difference. They played in SoFi last week against Sam Darnold. They picked him off 4 times. Like I said last week, the Seahawks actually had no right to be in that game, and the Rams won on a missed field goal as time expired. But it was 65 yards. It was never going in anyway. But, like, 6.5 points when you're going up against a Bucks team who really, like, did take it to the Bills until, like, the last final 2 drives where they ended up going up by 2 scores due to a Baker Mayfield interception. But the Bucks, like, have been there or thereabouts this whole season. So to be 6.5 point favorites is pretty huge. I think a lot of that is, like, basing it off Stafford and the season Stafford's having and how he's number 1 in the MVP race, and rightfully so. You've got Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. Like, he's got the weapons. I got there eventually. He's got the weapons. So, but 6.5 points is a lot, I think.
Are they still underrated, though? Like, the Rams are just quietly just dominating this season. Like,
do you really think they're they're underrated? Because from what I've seen, people have started in the last 2 weeks. They've been at the top of a lot of people's power rankings.
It's only been the last 2 weeks, but they've been just quietly going about their business the entire season.
I think if you look at people that know ball at the start of the season, did actually pick them to be in the Super Bowl this year.
It was all relying on that back, which looks crisp.
So
epidural. Sign me up. I want one.
whatever the science is, stem cells, baby's blood. I don't know what they're doing, but it's good. The Rams are top to bottom like a really great team, and we talked about it on the last show. When your number 2 receiver is Devontae Adams, like
A Hall of Famer.
yeah,
Touchdown every game.
what they can do, particularly in the red zone, it's so hard to stop them. The Bucks, I think, are so impressive. I think Baker Mayfield should still be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Because he's doing it without his big weapons. He doesn't have... He is missing receivers that can stack up next to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and he doesn't have them. And he's
then a
still...
rising star who's going to be of the future.
And so...
I don't want to say his name.
Go on, have a crack. Just have a try.
Is it Mbuka?
Mbuka.
Mbuka.
Look at me.
But do you know what is great when you are watching Bucks games, and I enjoyed this last week with the Bills, the genuine sense of celebration from the commentators when they get his name out, like they've discovered a new thing, or it's like they've learned how to say, hello, can you direct me to the train station in another language. It's really wonderful to hear how happy they are. So I think what's truly impressive is the way Baker Mayfield's playing. And he's been amazing on his legs. He was not banged up for a few weeks and didn't run at all. But he scrambled so well against the Bills. And it's an underrated part of his game. He has that fight and he doesn't give up. And it's so good to see him finally find a place where he belongs. I think this is closer than 6.5. I think part of the difference is going to be the Bucks are a tiny bit banged up in their secondary.
You did just do some research. What is that?
A little bit. They're missing. One of their cornerbacks is out. Barton didn't practice this week. Solid cornerback. Another of their cornerbacks went out of the game halfway through, and I think it made a really big difference last week. So could be carrying some soreness. So their 2 cornerbacks, they're not at full strength, and I think that starts to, if that softens, then it could be a really big day for Nacua and Adams and what they can achieve. Maybe you don't have to keep Adams in the slot. Maybe he can be on the outside, as well as a threat. So, I think that's probably where the Rams could run away with it. But I think it's going to be a good game. And the Bucks defense has been stopping the run really well. It was really hard to get James Cook going last week from the Bills. So, and you need to do that against the Rams. You need to contain their run. Otherwise, you're in all sorts of trouble.
I think this is definitely, we're going to do our picks in a minute, but 6.5 is too much. I think this is a field goal kind of game. It is a gunsling. It'll be a 40-37 kind of game.
Oh, yeah, smash those overs.
Yeah.
Smash those overs.
And Baker, I said it last week, Baker loves these games. Like, he's 6.5 points. It'll be 12.5 points in his head. Like, he's going to be out there putting the flag down the middle of SoFi. Saying,
also loves playing in prime time, too.
Yeah.
And loves playing at SoFi. Like, that game when he came
in on Tuesday and
flew in on Tuesday, played at SoFi, won the game himself. But he is, like Stafford, he's a gunslinger, and he loves being under a dome like that where he can really take some shots.
So it's a revenge game because he played for the Rams, didn't he?
Play for the Rams, but you know
Revenge
what?
Game.
I don't.
Mate, give me Baker
you call it
every
a
day,
revenge
though.
game. He has no ill will towards the Rams at all. Because that one game, and he said this in an interview, I think last week, a couple of weeks ago, it got him his shot, but he said it also gave him belief again that he was going to make it in the NFL. Not that he could make it. I think he always believed that, but it made him believe that he could make it, and that it was going to happen.
Rebirth. Who are you going to... We're going to go head-to-head because this is a
If we're going head-to-head, I'm going to take the Rams, just a little bit of the home field advantage. They're one of those teams at the moment they're hard to pick against or bet against.
Or what about we'll go 3-point line then?
The Rams are going to win by a field goal.
Field goal? So 2.5.
2.5.
Take it?
I'll take it.
Yeah, I concur. I think the same. And that's purely just consistency of where the Rams are at. And what I'd say about the Bucks is last week was a must-win for them and they didn't win it. So this week is more of a must-win, but
it's an 8-point game.
Yeah, I'm not that, and they lost by 14 last week.
They fell away at the end.
Yeah.
It was a head-to-head till three-quarter time. Really.
Yeah. But it is a game of 4 quarters.
You tell me we're not playing hockey out
Yeah,
here?
if we stopped at the 3/4 mark, a lot of the history of football would be very different. But I just think you have to trust the Rams until they give you a reason not to trust them.
Give me Baker in a revenge game every day of the week.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but he's also got the underdog story coming into this. Like,
He's got a lot of stories.
Banged up team, playing against the Rams, who gave him a shot, and then coming off a big loss, really, against the Bills.
Yeah, you know they
Baker by 20.
you know that you know
Talk
that
about hot takes.
you know that meme of like the scans came back. You know the X-ray. You know when a player has a really
He's got
tough
that dog in
and
him.
yeah, but his is an underdog. Like he's got a permanent internal underdog.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a classic game, just straight up. Hopefully the defense doesn't show up on either side, and we do have a
we love a
40-37. Yeah, that'll be exactly what we want. So I'm going the Bucks against you two boys, and we'll see who knows football. But some other games that are going to be interesting this week. We've said this; it's a little bit of an interesting week where a lot of the teams that should win will win. So there's the first game that, Charles, you've brought up as an interesting game is the Steelers-Bears. Now, I don't know in what city you think this is going to be a good game, but throw it to me as to why.
Oh, I'm not suggesting it's a good game. I think it's an interesting one to talk about for two reasons. The Steelers, who had a very good start to the season, are clearly on a slide at the moment. And maybe the fairy tale Rodgers makes a playoff story isn't looking quite as straightforward as we thought.
Ravens on their back, aren't they?
That's right.
Well, and he also broke his wrist. Let's not forget that Rodgers broke his wrist.
By that you mean he's washed. And so, but the other thing I want to say, and it has been neglected on this podcast, and I think we know why, is that the Bears have sneaky had a great season. They have been much better than we thought they would be at the start of the year. Caleb Williams is turning into a franchise quarterback. Like the Bears would start to feel very confident with what they've got with Williams. And I just think it's great news for T-Mac to have some good competition in that division, particularly as we look towards seeding for the playoffs and the unstoppable Packers that began the season, perhaps have someone they have to contend with now and hopefully into the future. And I think it was worth saying on this podcast.
Just a couple of things on that before you go to
the tirade, you can feel it fucking come out.
Yeah, I can feel you burning up from here.
Time to do some anger management.
So like the Bears, like Ben Johnson's going there, like has made a world of difference, and like they are now an incredibly well coached team, and they do have some weapons there. But another really important part about the fact that they're playing the Steelers actually have the second worst ranked passing defense, which really bodes well for me and my 4,000 with Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams is going to go out there and sling it, and that's why we've also thrown him in our 1K club. Oh, spoilers, we'll get to that later.
Last time, I do like that, but last time we spoke about the Steelers being really bad, their defense came to play, and they stopped. I can't remember who it was, which was bad of me, but it was about 2 weeks ago. Who'd they fuck? Doesn't matter. I'm seething.
Good.
We do have someone to contend with. It's called the Lions. We will contend with them for many, many years. I'm still not a believer in this team. And Ben Johnson, yes, really, really good. But look what he's had to compare with the last few years. Like they had shit coaches for generations. He will not make 4,000 yards. I'm still putting my hat on that. And
The Bears
the Bears are better. No, you said they were going to be good. So they're not better than what we said because you said they were going to be good.
But they are currently the top of the NFC North is what I was going to get at. And now they're going to play the Steelers with a backup QB.
Well, it's not confirmed. Rodgers does have a broken wrist. It's his opposite hand. And he said it's not a performance thing. It's a safety thing as to whether he plays or not. I don't know what a safety thing means. But so he could still play. And he might have handed the keys over to Jordan Love for Chicago, but he still has an open invite, so he still owns the Bears. Pittsburgh are not losing this if Rodgers plays.
Okay.
And I'm putting him in for a touchdown if they play. He will
I
rush a touchdown.
I just think on form of those two teams, I'm more confident in the Bears with where they're at right now.
So you're not betting with your heart? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
you're not doing this whole podcast with.
I don't gamble, so that's part of my secret.
Even just analysing this game, it's all in my heart.
And what's the Bears chant? Is it "Go Bears Go"?
No, you fucking idiot. Bear down. What the fucking bear down? What does that even mean? The Bears are down. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings end up on top of the Bears this season. Just Throw that out there still.
I just enjoy how easy it is
the Bears.
to unravel you with the Bears. It just doesn't make it's fun, but it's silly as well. I mean, the Bears. It's like you're so angry about the Bears. The Bears. Like, come on. Like, when have they ruined your life? Like, they just like. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like. The Patriots. It's not like my resentment of the Patriots being on top of our division at the moment. Going, come on, I'm still not ready for you to come back, Patriots.
And they are.
But the Bears.
Come on. But that's fair enough. The Patriots dominated not just you; they dominated everyone. But I understand you have to do it twice a year. The Bears are they're shit. Shut up. You are the bottom.
They're not. They
will be on the bottom by the end of this season. JJ McCarthy will turn it around.
I'm not putting it.
I'll double down on the 4th.
Oh, we need to move on.
I'll put it, Jets Ravens. Jets Ravens.
I threw this one in. Just, are the Jets frisky enough to beat the Ravens? And the question that goes with that is, are the Ravens shitty enough to lose to the Jets?
Do you have any? I have no confidence in the Ravens.
I do not, and part of the reason why, objectively, Lamar played an awful game of football last week, just a terrible game of football, and I don't actually trust their defense the way I used to believe in the Ravens' defense. I think this season has been. It's been an abomination, obviously, losing Lamar, but it's not just been Lamar. The whole operation has been disappointing. And it's like that last quarter of the opening game of the season broke the Ravens.
Yeah.
It just ruined. There was the moment where they believed that everything they told themselves in the preseason and everything the media had said about the Ravens being the ones to beat in the AFC, they believed it, and then it was taken away from them, and they've never gotten self-belief again. The Jets, on the other hand, who should be throwing every single fucking game of the season because they just need draft picks and they're going to be okay next year.
They've got the draft picks.
Yeah,
they need the players.
But yeah, the fact is they've started to win games.
That's how bad they are. They can't even throw games.
Yeah,
they're winning.
They're accidentally hitting targets. So I just think it's interesting, given that the AFC North is still kind of wide open. This could be a game that has implications if the Jets, aren't polite enough to lose.
Yes. I don't think we need to say much more.
No.
I don't trust the Ravens as far as I can throw them, and I can't throw them. Colts Chiefs.
So this is super interesting. So currently the Chiefs are sitting around a 50% mark of making the playoffs. They're 5-5, and they're going up against this Colts team, which has been dominant all year, doing amazing things with Daniel Jones behind the helm, which some of us saw coming, maybe. But if the Chiefs lose this game, their playoff chances drop all the way down to 35%. So every game from here on out is a must-win game for the Chiefs.
Especially when the Broncos and Chargers are still kind of giving them grief, but the Broncos are definitely giving them. So they lose this, they can't win the division. But yeah, they're not far off. Can't make the wild card.
If anyone tells me the Chiefs are going to win the division, I'm not going to believe you. I'm talking about 35% of making the wild card, which is something we haven't spoken about the Chiefs at all since the start of this podcast, however many years ago. We haven't spoken ever about them not taking out their division. So this is absolutely major implications, this game.
Especially when you said, we won't talk about it, but you said last week, they're still playing well, especially offensively, which makes me think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a big day. Pats Bengals.
So this is a game that we've talked about it briefly before. I don't trust the Bengals to play better than the Pats, at the moment, the way the Pats have been playing. But all you would say is the Pats are on a heater. I think it's an 8-game streak.
Correct.
Now, there have been very few teams that maintain streaks beyond that. Even we saw the Eagles start hot and then fade away. Previously, we've seen lots of teams start strong, not be able to maintain it. And it's still a team that hasn't had season after season of consistently winning and making playoffs. So is there going to be that game where the Pats stumble where they aren't as held together. Vrabel's coached the hell out of them this year, and maybe they're not. Maybe they're going to hold it together. But if Burrow plays and the Pats lose, it then looks like we're getting to that moment where the Bills and the Pats are playing for the 1 seed in the AFC East, and that could determine. Like it could actually determine
the
1 seed, who gets to the Super Bowl, all of those things, depending on which way, the AFC, where the AFC has to go through to get to the Super Bowl. So I think it's one of those games where, if Burrow doesn't play, the Bengals don't really have a shot, but there is a chance. And also, with Burrow not having played for so much of the season, there's not a lot of tape of what they want to do with Burrow for the season. There's a chance that there's a lot of surprises in the way that they run that, particularly with Chase out. You don't really know what they're going to do.
I hope the Pats win, just so next week's game against the Bills, that'll be
do or die for both teams.
That'll be lights out. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Last one, Panthers 49ers.
So this is really interesting. It's the Monday night football game, so Tuesday midday for us. It's just Brock has come back from that injury, and his first week out there, he didn't really look that good. But then when he played against the Cardinals last week, he looked like the Brock of old. He was moving well, he looked comfortable, and man, he hit every single target. I don't know what his completion rate was, but it was high. He was doing so well. Then coming up against Bryce Young, who just come off the best game of his career, and the Panthers are like sneakily doing better than anyone thought. I think they're sitting at 6-4 at the moment. Like they are doing really well. So I think this is a great Monday night football game, which previously at the start of the season, when we saw this in the script of the scheduling, I was like, 49ers probably going to be able to take this. A little bit banged up on defense as well, the 49ers, like Warner and Bosa, and not doing too great. But, what I mean? So this should become a very entertaining game. If we get both these quarterbacks out there playing lights out, it'll be another, young gunslinger game.
And also, just as far as playoff implications go, the NFC West is an absolute battleground.
Oh, she's tight.
And so, the Rams, you would say, are looking good. But Seahawks and Niners, they both need to win every game they possibly can. Particularly, the Seahawks, a little bit wobbly last week. Probably Sam Darnold's not going to throw 4 interceptions again this week. Probably come back a little bit. But Niners have to win it to stay in contention. And so there's real implications of this game as well.
Absolutely. All I'm hearing is Young's on 400 again. So that'll pay out nicely. Charles, thank you for a massive Week 12, very, very interesting episode. We digressed with WWE. We talked about the Browns. It was weird.
I'm not sure I stuck to the pre-show notes of let's just get it done in and out quickly and enjoy it. But yeah, great week of football ahead, and it's going to be fun. I'll leave you now to your sinful ways, and I'll see you. I'll see you when we review what the hell happened in this round.
Thanks, Dad. It is time for our First Down Friday, brought to us by our good friends at Unibet. Make sure you hit us up for our DM and our unique Unibet link. Now, when this episode goes live, the game will unfortunately be up and running. But I will put it out there to the world as to what I have picked for our First Down Friday, or my First Down Friday, because it's 2-1 still, mate.
I know.
What happened last week?
We are having some real struggles with just getting off the ground. And, it's no fault of our own, but just the free hits that we were hoping for just kind of haven't really been going our way. Too many curveballs.
It is. It just shows the Friday game can be tough one to bet on. We should bet the unders a lot more, but we don't. But what I'm going to go with, just to put it out into the ether, James Cook, 2 receptions. Tyrell Shavers, which coming out of nowhere, 2 receptions. And the Bills, I'm going to give them a plus 3.5 line. That gives us $3.15. So that's a juicy one when it does get up. The one thing that we are looking at, and it has been our most consistent, is the 1K club, mate. Last week we lost. We have been so unlucky with our wins, our losses more than our wins. We've been lucky with our wins. Our 1K club, we're bouncing back. Our good friends at 100K Sports, they say you're either hot or you're due. We were hot as. Now we're due, mate. So what's going to happen with our 1K club?
Yeah, and last week we went out on a limb and picked a few QBs that were hot the week before. And it was more just to see if we could get like some boosted odds on that. Didn't really come our favour anyway, so we're hoping that we're just going to go back to our old ways. And I reckon what we're going to start doing, because the odds are going to be lower because we're going to pick players that we really think are going to get there, we're going to just start rolling our winnings over. So we're going to bet our single unit on this 1K club, and then we're going to put all the winnings of that unit on next week's 1K club, because we were undefeated until last week where we went off script. We're going straight back to script, and we're not going to lose for the rest of the season, and we're going to cash out at week 17 with some big bucks.
That's huge. I didn't know we were doing that.
Love on air, mate.
Welcome back. Yeah. I love it though. That's because we tried to go away from the script, stick to what we know, and this is what we know. Our 1K club, 3-1 now.
Yeah,
that one will not be added to. So what are we going with this
losing. No teams had an undefeated season. We're not going to join them, are we?
Nah.
But so what we've got is I've really dove deep on this one and just picked the teams that have the worst pass rating defense and just bet on the QB opposite. Luckily for us, that is Drake May. He has been killing it, and he will continue to do so. Caleb Williams. I want him to get 4,000 yards, so it kind of really helps me. But also going up against the Steelers defense, which we spoke about earlier being a bit shaky. Matthew Stafford, probably going to be the league's MVP. How could you not have him in there? And then a little curveball, which I don't know if everyone's going to be on board with this, and I'll explain why afterwards. But I put in Jacoby Brissett for the Cardinals. He has not thrown under 250 yards at all so far this season since he stepped in, and he's had some 450 games in there. So he's averaging around that 300 mark. So we just need all these 4 QBs to combine for 1,000 yards. So minimum he has to get is 250, and he hasn't missed that yet once so far this season. So Jacoby Brissett in the 1K club.
I like Matty Stafford. He was our big one last week. He only threw 130 yards in a light out game. So he's not doing that 2 weeks in a row. That's huge. That's hitting. And I love it. Roll over our winnings to the week after and just keep rolling them over. We've got 8 weeks to go, 6 weeks to go, something like that. So it'll be a big payout by week 17.
Yeah, so we're just you can look at it as a 5-level game.
Nice.
And this is level 1 of the 1K club, and we're going to get to level 5 at week 17, and we're going to cash out and then restart for the playoffs.
Huge. Love it. Like I said, make sure you hit us up for our unique Unibet link. You'll find all these things, our early touchdown games, our primetime touchdown games. They're all in there. It's exciting week 12 football, mate.
Oh, man, can't wait. And fly, Eagles, fly. Kelly Green, baby.